This video is a short video to let you know that I was targeted and now I'm free. I want to share this with you to let you know there is in fact hope for those who are suffering as a result of being targeted or as a person of interest for reasons that are unjust. Basically, I'm going to show you some before and after pictures, or essentially the results from two tests. One is from Columbia Investigations by Melinda Kidder, and the other is from Integrative Health Systems, LLC, by Dr. Hildegard Staninger. And these are the retesting. My story's been told before, so I'm going to provide links below so you can get a comprehensive outlay of my story. But here is the after report with Columbia Investigations. It's also known as Exhibit Y. And I'm going to read from this report to show you that when I met with Melinda Kidder to get scanned, I asked her, did she ever know any other victim survivors who came forward afterwards with no frequencies coming out of their body? And she said, no, I've never had that happen before. And I said, well, in my experience, I believe I can be healed of this and that I will return in about 6 months. And so I did. By the grace of God and using multiple protocols, including Dr. Hildegard's protocols for herbology and several others combined, I was able to conquer the effects of this biotech that was placed in my body against my will, illegally under the auspices of a surgical procedure in 2011. So I just gently went over the content of the report, just so you could see that this is a report. But I'm going to read from the second page of Melinda Kidder's report, and this is dated June 1st, 2013. It says here that minor notations, of course, in the first page it gets into the date of test, that there was in fact a previous test that took place, and that was in December of 2012, and that she used specific equipment, etc., and that, you know, she just basically goes into, in fact, that there were signals. But in this evaluation, she says here, using the ASICO, the RFID scan initially showed, and she gets into the megahertz and the gigahertz, etc. And she says there was no specific point of the body being scanned. The scanner was tested at this time to confirm that it was still in working order. It should be noted that the signal strength meter determined that these signals were not coming from me, from Burnor, but to Burnor. And then she gives the signals, etc. And so she basically said that she used the RF microwave GPS test was performed using this particular equipment, and no signals were detected. And so that's a really good sign. That's actually progress, because I used to have RFID and other signals coming out of me, and that report shows essentially that that the protocols worked. Now this report from Dr. Hildegard, dated July 23rd, 2013, she references a previous report. The original testing was January 8th of 2013, and she gets into the discussion. She gets into heavy metals and all these other things that were found in the previous test. Of course, I'll show the test, to you. And then I'm going to read the conclusion. But just to show that it's a real test, the exhibit markers are because this was used in my notice of criminal activity, and so is Burnor's notice to the world. Do the best I can to get that in the camera. It's just to show it's a real test. And there's the second page here, conclusion. That's what I'll read from in a second. And again, this is all under copyright, registered marks, etc. Dr. Hildy likes to make sure she has all of her I's dotted and T's crossed. And here's her signature on that document. Okay, so I'm going to read the conclusion and on second page. And she says here, in general, the advanced biological monitoring tests show a total turnaround in response to outline recommended treatments, therapies for exposure to advanced nanomaterials and biosensor devices. All values are well within acceptable ranges, and patient client has not experienced symptoms as previously described in early report, her toxicological dysfunction analysis, TDA, and other reports. And she says here, she just goes into specific recommendations, to continue to help clean out the body and so forth. So that is good news right there. Now, these reports were done in 2013. I was on the run for a total of 5.5 years until Trump took office. So basically what we have is I had subsequent attacks because I wasn't properly traveling under my other aliases, and so there were further attempts. And one of the other attempts that I'm going to cite from is on a 6/19/2015 report on exposure to designer innovative nanotechnology. Assessment area was the vehicle and living facility. And basically, my vehicle was broken into. And so I cut the carpet portions out, sent that to the lab, and had Dr. Hildy analyze what was going on there. And she has found that the analysis revealed specific materials that would induce colon cancer, breast cancer, and leukemia. And she gets into other technicalities here. Each used as a specific tag to induce and or monitor cancer mechanisms development. The analysis results indicate that the materials utilized were of a specific innovative nanotechnology delivery system with a specific intent, such as to give our client cancer at an accelerated rate of time. That's pages 1 of 2 of that report. So basically, all of this to say is that after several attempts and threats against my life, I am free today. And people would naturally ask, well, how could you be sharing this story if you're free? And, why are you doing this? Well, I took it to prayer, and I was approached to explore a $100 million settlement. And in order to do that, I would have to be siding with the very Jesuits that did this to me. I couldn't do that in my good conscience, and I was not going to accept a gag order. And I also know that this, even though I was attacked with military-grade nano weapons, nanotechnology weapons, everybody is being exposed to this at one level or another. And so all mankind is at risk. So in order for me to receive a settlement, I would have to be quiet about all this, and I don't feel for me that would be the best thing to do. So the bottom line is I'm free, and you can be free too. We are offering a program, 6 to 12 month program, depending on what one selects. Each one will have to be vetted properly. We have to make sure that everyone who's coming to us is someone who's going to have needs that we can assist with. So we're going to provide links below so that you can get in touch with us, and we'll give you the protocols and so forth. But we would be happy to see what we can do to help you. We can't make guarantees on results because everybody's situations are going to be different, but we will do an impact analysis and so forth and see what we can do to assist you to help yourself. So if I can be free, I believe you can be free. And it's not easy. There's no question about that. I'm going to leave links to my story and other links, you know, so that you can get a better appreciation of what I went through. And yeah, whatever we can do to help you, we are here to do what we can. So God bless you, and I hope this gives you some hope.